evening, everybody.
Evening.
Okay. This one's called War on TV, Ode to Fiona Bruce. Fiona Bruce is trigger happy, trigger sad. This safe space makes me feel like a childhood memory. Saturday morning television, pyjamas, and there's death, swimming in the air like Bugs Bunny, languid, unreal. I tore. Do you remember the leaves being torn? First there was Father Christmas, then a war to end all wars. When I think of Christmas morning, I get a sick feeling, like an atrocity, and then I say to myself, take a look in the mirror. People get angry with people, because we all watched the same TV last night, and this morning nobody managed to do anything. And they say, be like Sweden, Al Gore, Jeb Bush, Jeremy Corbyn, Bernie Sanders, Russell Brand, Ed Miliband, Richard Dawkins, Warren Gatland. And I'm angry too. Sad angry, afraid angry, weak angry, like blood on sand, sand on blood. Don't you know I'm afraid to hug the beggars in the street? I'm afraid like a lost tribe when they hear Spanish is a loving tongue. It would be a strange thing to kill yourself when so many die without a chance, without a choice, rather. I don't know how it feels to see a camera when you're dying, when your baby's snuffed under concrete, maybe cold like aspirin. In Vietnam, there are usually some okay human beings and some bad human beings, or okay turned bad, or bad turned okay. But none of these are Vietnamese. They just kind of scream in the jungle, killing indiscriminately for no reason. Sometimes the human beings are Robin Williams or Michael J. Fox, so they're granted special status. I haven't seen the ones about Iraq. I was a bit like, been there, done that. Thank you.
It's Renn. I can't help it, it's the camera. That's very poignant, thanks everyone. Okay, next up we have Johnny. Are you okay to go? Did you want to please?
Someone else go
Yeah.
first, please.
Finn? Yeah, there you go.
Just a very quick one from me. One person.
That was too quick.
A few paces from the river, you might pass some fishing boats, marooned and rusting on these desert sands. Coated in brown, earthly tint of age, their structure still holds true. As frightened, shell-shocked children, they cluster and cutch together rather than spread apart. They've not tasted salted water since the war, when someone conscripted them, survived but riddled with bullet holes and stained blood hidden within their lower decks, withering in rust from the inside out. Nobody comes to visit, save for a sleek yacht, sailing the young and forgetful past the river's bank.
Thanks, Finn. Our very own tweeter. Thank you for
Social media manager.
He's been here every time and he's tweeted like a bastard. Okay, next up we have Johnny.
Yeah, I'm going to do 4. I know that sounds like a lot, but they're short ones, and then one long one, which I'm also going to do tomorrow as well. Okay. First one is not specifically about war, but it's more about a war that I had with myself when I was on a lot of substances and drinking a shitload, and then I had a breakdown like 2.5 years ago. Been with my girlfriend for 3 years, and she's fucking stuck by me the whole time, which is awesome. It's 3 years today. But yeah, I've gone off on a tangent, so I'll just read it. The art of minesweeping. Finders keepers detonate the deficit of drinks as ill reapers swills the scythes, sarcophagi or suffragi, the ratio of salt to lime, lick to tip the shot, blank as the check on my shirt, carting blanch as my liver becomes mollusk, molten mist for the mire that sweeps the mind and never minds. two more that I've just written today. Well, one of them I've just written like a minute ago. So I'll do that. Yeah, this one's just called Distant. There is a notion in my brain that is made of escape keys, ESC, even souls cry, any pain, Eden. We see distant, the seizing seasons are with us. War, roar, no reward for distance, whispers, we. And this next one, this is the last one I'll do, and it's specifically about basically war and the arms trade and so forth, and plenty of people mentioned the demo, so I won't talk about that, but it's one that I'm going to read out it tomorrow. And it's basically, I had a book out a year and a half ago. Got another one coming out in June, but that's another story. Yeah, basically it was called Chalk Outlines, and here's the title poem from that. All I see is chalk outlines, death in statistics never fought inside. Once men killed, they pinned the numbers, pushed to the limit they lived in. Once they had not a speck of chalk, they walked this planet as much as you or I, but then supplied themselves to the military, literally giving their lives. But I've read too much Wilfred Owen to glorify. My jaw drops as rain pops outlines into chalk spots, memory banks wide like the shite on the battlefield, where men kneel, perpetually wheeling their lives away as the mutilations lay waste and the bullets hum. Through the humdrum dirt, earth rots here, sincerely as we forgot those who died a million times, and imperialism's live on the news. And the revenues go to the BAEs and the Lockheeds. Chalk busts through bomb dust, up thrust the profit for every grenade they're getting paid. For every grenade they're getting paid, for every grenade they're getting paid. War is a business, and death is a business. Don't believe me, then read the statistics. Don't believe me, then read the statistics. Don't believe me, then read the statistics. Thank you.
Where can you get your book, Chalk Outlines?
You can get it online. You can get it online on my page, on Facebook. Johnny Giles Poet. Well, Facebook / Johnny Giles Poet.
There we go. Okay, next up we have Zaru. Woo!
That's great. I'm not going to read all of this, this is pretty long. I'm just going to read a bit of it. This was in response to the Artist Mundi work that was in the museum about a year ago. So some of it is images that are, would be, you'd be saying actually, that you'd be surrounded by, but because there was works of art and stuff that were hanging around, but they're images. Tortured in an orchard room, how many donkeys dead? Heads split, philtrum to blessing kiss, skulls open, septic bliss, grey Mary. Absent eyes evoking nothing, long gone liquids, michter, chaethog, chithrig, twisted ribs of sycamore, lifted from earth, glass, planet of my birth and Genny, and life is anti-gravity of anything when we bring our active heads together. Cavities in the concrete at my doorstep are forgivable. Cadavers are everywhere, some are invisible, but riddles are weaving me traps. One hand claps, shakabuku. God is resting her war-torn mind in the machine and her feet in the sea, which seems shallower than sparrow bath puddles, huddled on narrow paths, the rough of sleep, dream in broken church. The roof slates are appling the crowns of the faithful. In the lane of Lady Graceful, her smile a murmur, watching from spotlight immaculate, but enough with dreams. I never recall mine anyway. The last time I did it was better than life, but not as engagingly complex and addictive. It was like heaven under na neve, where pub angel chwaraeteg and head van heb the wisjed and grefydd an ebi off in am goose gebear the chin olaf. Nowhere to go but some lake or some forest to forage. There were no camels in Coed Frith Newydd before it was logged. I would stalk there as a dog shot hogging in dilapidated samsara, but all I saw were edgy sheep and birds in hedges and in herds. I'd heard of Hruval in history blinks, and it did not yet seem absurd. Two man-made aluminium objects had made love to two man-made stone obelisks and broadcast the act international. But murder had occurred before. A holy crusade would throw newly made dew grenades and thrush bombs in a water pistol farmyard friends I had, girl who won't love me gesture. Where is Hiawatha? What diet doctor with leech and book will pacify these magnified temperaments? Maybe we can find him crouched at the ankle of a corrugate pillar impermanent, dismantling Tonka vehicles, whispering. A thought will strike you. Lotus on the floor of wood-slat trapdoors. The road to Hades, ladies and gentlemen, is a dearly departed end. So said my friends who Vogue rejected. On screens I saw the breasts of femen and their wrists arrested. Children of a regime which missed and myth molested. Results of risks neglected. People die to buy us the time to be introspective. Gyda rhyw hanner fy golau pob dydd yn electric, mellt, di garcharu mewn metal a blastig, nath teledu ymosod ar ymenydd fy ieunctid, gan losgi twll ceiniog yn fysbryd, rhyw acid hollol anaturiol, sbwriel ofnadwy wirioneddol, medals are misleading. Oh, my bleeding heart data denomination is in shock, but praise be to total media, you'll have no knock at your gatepost, wide-eyed faces mostly cast blue, a national mood in the cyan of our sepia. Have you sat at the school desks this chapter yet? Some frog-spawn pool pupils have captured a threat present in our water in alarming quantities and detectable in the condensation, but some don't care for condemnation, like keep to yourself, creature, and cast a glance cynical. Our atrocities are miracles. May all of your intimacies prove a minimal return. I'll leave it there. Sam, have a good day.